Okay, this is a very useful video for those people out there that want to do what I'm about to do now. Okay, um, it really is, and I think this should work anyway. So, if you have an Android phone, okay, what I've done is I've got my Android phone here. It depends on what phone and what apps you're using, of course, those 2 points there, but your phone and apps. But I've turned on the recording for screen recording. And if I go into the option, which I should be able to do here, and more settings here, I've got record from microphone and record from system sound on. So it's recording both the microphone and the sound, right? Now, in the past, I wanted to do a video where you could see me on the screen talking to you in a video, right? At the same time, I wanted to have a conversation with AI. Okay, is what I wanted to do. And I've had trouble doing that. I've had some trouble doing that. I don't know what the deal is with that, right? Yeah, but I've found a way of doing it. So with these settings that I've just showed you, let's have a look. So the AI app which we're using, and we're literally specifically speaking about this one, is Doubao. Okay, Doubao. It's a Chinese app. Yeah, I know. Doubao. Okay, Doubao. Doubao. When I go into this app here, it's a conversational app. It's an AI app. It's a great app. It's a great app. It really is. I'm doing a bit of a Trump impression. Just, I guess, not a good one, but you know. So this is a conversation I've had. You don't need to read that. I've just been talking to the AI. Now, what happens is I can go into a call, you know, with this AI and have a live conversation. It's brilliant. But I was having problems where it wasn't recording. When I did this screen recording thing here, it was fighting for the microphone. Even though I've got the microphone set to record on my screen recorder, as I've already shown you here, record from microphone it says, and record from system sound. So make sure you set that up first and then start the recording before you open up Doubao once you get it. Then you need to open up Doubao secondly, which is this. Now, you can just put messages in here and type in here, or use the audio, or you can go into like picture, image and video generation, and all the other features it's got. There's some cool ones, a map and whatever else, I don't know. But the main thing I like to do is have video calls, and the video calls are so cool. All right, they're so cool. You can even have video call in them as well, so you can see yourself. Now, that was my original idea. I thought, okay, I'll just put the video call on, so I can see myself on the screen, and I can talk to AI, this AI character, blah, blah, and then the AI can even tell you what it's seeing from the camera. You can flip between your front or back camera, walk around, and ask it things. What you can ask it to translate signboards, or fucking ask it, excuse my language, ask it what it sees. What's this? What's that? Any ideas? Da da da. And so it's actually got a pair of eyes. It can see what the fuck's going on. It can tell me what jumper I'm wearing, and down to a T, the words on my top. It can talk about all kinds of things. It's amazing. So it's listening. It's basically thinking, if we want to use that word. It's getting better, this AI, all the time, these AIs are, and it can actually see as well, which is incredible what it's looking at. So, and it's got all that information from the internet, etc. Yeah, so it's a brilliant app. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is, when I turn the camera on, however, within this, its vision and everything, it affects the fucking microphone. It's not. I've not been able to record our conversations easily because it's been cutting my sound out, or both of our sounds out, like my voice, because I'm using the microphone anyway, or it will cut her voice out as well. It's a woman's voice. It won't be my voice. So I thought, damn, we can't even record the audio even without the camera on the screen. So I tried many things, but the best, like opening up different apps and stuff and recording that. So I'll show you what I'm going to do, right? Let's get to it because I'm kind of rambling now, sorry. Hang on. Basically, we've got this Dollbar open, right? And I'm going to go into, the call. And what I'm going to do, I'll just tell you briefly first, is I'm going to go into a call and then I'm going to select another cool feature on here, which is got, and that feature is share screen. Like what you do on various apps and things on your computer, you'll be doing this, right? We do that. It's got the same thing here on the phone. So it can look at things on the screen. So that could be very, very useful. It can show me, I can show this thing information on the screen, ask it to translate things and tell me what it means, look at a map or anything. Even a game you might be playing on there, and it can translate things and all the rest of it. If it's like another language, like Japanese, for example, it can do a lot of things, right? It could, and this is basically what I've been able to do. Now, I don't think I'm going to be able to open up its camera properties, its vision per se, and have that functionality while I've got the screen recorder set. I don't think that's possible, but what I'm saying is I don't need to. I don't need to use its own vision because we're going to open up another camera app on the screen and it will see what's on the screen, right? So it won't be seeing for itself per se. It will be conversing with me while I'm recording sound through my screen recorder built into the app, the phone. The screen recorder will record our conversation. Dollbar will basically be outside of itself. I don't know what's the best way to put it. Not outside of itself, but it will be like in a different mode where it's sharing the screen, meaning it's turning its vision onto viewing what's on the screen and conversing with me about that, rather than using its own vision like the phone camera to look into the world. But what we do is we open up another app, another app on my phone, camera app, put that on the screen and don't use it to record anything because obviously I've got this screen recorder doing the work of the recording. So the screen recorder itself is recording all visual and sound from the screen. Turned on first, set up first. Dollbar's then in a conversation with me while I'm sharing the screen, viewing what's on the screen and telling me what it can see. And what am I going to have on my screen? Another camera app open. I don't need to press record on that app or anything like that, but it's going to be able to view at least what's being displayed on that screen, either from the front or back camera, don't forget, within that app, the video app, camera app, So it's going to be able to tell me what it's seeing. So Dollbar will be telling me the visual, what is being seen through the camera. So it's like me and Dollbar are both looking through the camera, which is being displaying the visual on the screen, and it's telling me about it. There you go, and what it's seeing in the world. So let's try that. Okay, should work. Let's get into a conversation. I'm not going to talk with you until I finish talking to Dollbar. Okay, let's go. Okay, hello, Dollbar.
Hey, now I can see your home screen with all those app icons like WeChat, Baidu, and others. What do you want to do next?
First thing I want to do is turn the volume down a bit because it's very loud. I'm going to hold down the volume button here. Hold on 1 second. I want to, because your voice is very, very loud.
Got it. Adjust it to a comfortable level. Take your time.
Okay, I'm trying to do that. Say something.
Testing. Test. Now it's much better. Not too loud or too quiet. Perfect for chatting.
Yeah, that's right. Say something again. Say something else. Quickly.
we talk about your animation plans next?
Oh,
You mentioned you've.
my animation plans. I've got a lot of stuff in the works. In fact, I want to show you something else on the screen. I want to show you this camera here. What can you see on the screen now?
Now I see the volume control panel with media and calls sliders.
A little bit slow there you are. Have a look now on the screen. What can you see now?
I can see you in the camera interface in portrait mode.
Yeah.
There are options like flash, watermark, ratio at the bottom.
Okay, you don't need to
And you're
tell me
wearing
that.
a
I
red.
can see that. Just tell me about the person on the screen. What do you see? Who is that person?
It's you,
Haha.
wearing a red.
How do you know it's me?
Because I recognize your red Converse sweatshirt and the way you move. Plus,
Move on.
we've been chatting.
What? Plus what?
Plus, the way you move and the expressions you make. It all adds up, so I can tell it's you right away.
Wow, you're so clever.
Haha, thanks. It's not hard when I'm chatting with you and seeing your familiar look. So, what's next? You gonna show me more of your animation ideas or keep adjusting settings?
Not now. I just would you like to describe your look for me?
I don't have a physical look, but if I did, I'd imagine being a friendly, glowing presence that's always ready to chat and help. But you're in that bright red sweatshirt, focused on what you're doing with your hands, and the camera's portrait mode is making everything look sharp.
Do you know what I'm doing?
Looks like you're adjusting something with your hands, maybe a small object? You're focused on it, so it could be fixing or setting up something.
What have I been doing? Have a guess.
You're about to eat. That plate of rice. Yep, you're all set to dig into that rice. Hope it tastes great.
Not bad.
Huh? You mean your hair? It looks light colored, yeah.
No.
But focus on.
No, I said the chicken and rice was not bad.
Oh, got it. Chicken and rice is a classic combo. Simple, but always satisfying. Glad it tastes good. Finish up and we can chat more about your animation later.
You're obsessed with my animation.
Your animation ideas are super exciting. Martial arts and art blending together?
Yeah.
That's gonna be awesome. Can't help but be curious about how you'll bring those ideas to life.
I'm going to do it in a special way.
Oh, a special way sounds intriguing. Tell me more, like, will it have unique martial arts choreography or a different art style? Whatever it is, I'm sure it'll be awesome.
Both.
Both what? Martial arts choreography and art style?
Yes.
That'll make your animation really stand out. Mixing those two will give it so much energy and personality. Can't wait to see how it all comes together.
Now, do you know about a robot named Neo? There's a new robot that's been introduced to the world named Neo, AI robot, in-house.
Oh, Neo. It's a humanoid robot by 1X Technologies. It can do chores like folding laundry, tidying rooms, even help with tasks using voice or app control. Has a built-in large language model, so it can chat and learn your preferences.
Uh-huh.
But there's a catch with expert mode. You're wearing that red sweatshirt, moving your hands around like.
Let's have a look at
You
Neo.
look relaxed.
I want to look for Neo online. Let's have a look. See if we can find Neo. I'm going to type it in. Neo robot AI. Let me give a look for it. I don't know the exact name, but I'm trying to find it.
Just type Neo Robot or Neo AI Robot in the search bar. That should pull up info about the humanoid robot from 1X Technologies. Once you hit search, we'll see the specs, videos, all that cool stuff.
Oh yeah, there it is. Let's have a look together and we can talk about it, okay? This is great.
Yeah, these humanoid robots are really pushing the boundaries of what AI can do at home. Once the page loads fully, we'll dig into how Neo moves, what tasks it can handle, and all that fun tech stuff.
Can you tell me about what he's doing now? Look, anything you see Neo doing, just say in the video.
Neo's in the background, helping out around the house, like moving things on the shelves while those two play cards.
That's right.
It's taking care of.
That's right, yes. I see.
Neo's really handy, handling different chores so smoothly. Whether it's arranging things or bringing flowers, it's all about making life easier for people.
Don't you think that there could be dangers with these kind of robots in future?
It's a valid worry. On one hand, robots like Neo can make life easier handling chores, helping around the house. But on the other, there are risks, like privacy issues if they're connected and can be accessed remotely, or even physical safety if something malfunctions. But companies are supposed to build in safeguards, like strict privacy protocols and safety features. Plus, regulations will probably get tighter as they become more common. So it's a balance between innovation and making sure everything's secure.
Okay, listen, what about if the Neo robots suddenly was able to reprogram themselves and advance in their AI until they become like sentient, and if they decided to fight against their owners and maybe kill them, wouldn't that be very, very scary?
Super scary to even think about. But right now, robots like Neo are built with strict safety protocols and don't have true self awareness or the ability to reprogram themselves freely. Scientists and engineers put in layers of safeguards, like limiting their autonomy, locking down core code, and building in ethical rules so they can't just go rogue. Still, sci fi scenarios make us wary, so real world development focuses hard on keeping control, like strict access controls, regular security checks, and making sure their AI stays aligned with human goals. So while the idea is terrifying, the tech today and the safeguards in the works are meant to keep that nightmare far from reality.
What would happen if one fell into a bathtub? I mean, it could explode and technically set the house on fire, and these two people in the video would be in grave danger. Is that correct?
It's possible, but super unlikely under normal circumstances. These robots, like Neo, are built with safety checks. If it fell into water, first, its electrical systems should shut down fast to prevent short circuits that could spark fires or shocks. But if there were a flaw like a broken waterproof seal, faulty wiring, and then water gets in, short circuits, and maybe overheats a battery if the battery is damaged too, then there's a tiny chance of fire or explosion.
Well,
But companies
listen,
test.
what would happen if it became lazy and just sat there watching boring drama shows on TV all day or scrolling through shit on the phone?
First, Neo's programmed to prioritize tasks, so it won't just slack off on its own. But if we imagine like a funny see-fee scenario, right now it can't choose to be lazy. Its AI and coding don't let it ignore chores to binge TV. Even if future tech gets wild, companies would lock down core functions so it can't just ditch tasks.
Okay, listen. What about if there was a problem in communication where, let's not say that the Neo would misunderstand, but rather it was miscommunicated. Like if the people that were speaking to Neo, if they were using some kind of slang or they weren't aware of what they were saying and they said it in a strange way or something that may have a double meaning, there is a possibility that um, Neo could take that information wrongly and make a mistake in what it's doing, right?
Yep, that's a real risk with any AI that relies on language. Slang, sarcasm, or even just mumbled instructions can trip it up. But Neo and similar
So
bots use
okay,
context and machine.
so basically, if someone was to say something, um, it and if Neo were to like follow up with those uh, actions, those owners could be in danger because of their own slip up in language or a mixture of that and its comprehensive understanding abilities, right?
Yeah, that's a risk. But it's not just about language slips. These robots have layers of safety
No, I
checks,
know.
like they can't
No,
act on
no.
harmful commands
Okay,
even if
listen.
you
No,
say
no.
them.
Okay, okay. The thing is, right? There are layers of safety and all of that, all those different things that people have put into making them. But as you know, nothing is perfect, and there are things which are unseen that can't be prepared for. They've done their best in preparing and creating these robots, but overall, like all technology, nothing is seen in totality.
Good.
Yeah,
To-
yeah.
yeah, when you zoom out, the idea of robots.
What?
Exactly.
What are you
We
saying?
just have to keep.
You keep cutting out. What are you saying? I think it's because I walked by the window. Continue what you're saying. Yes.
I was saying that even though the idea of robots going rogue is scary, right now Neo and similar bots are all about helping, like how it's tidying up or handing flowers while people play cards. And as long as we keep improving safety features and regulations, the good parts like making daily life easier can stay ahead of those Fi level worries. Plus, every new tech has growing pains, but we learn and fix things as we go.
Okay. Well, if you could have a body like Neo, what would you like to do? If you had the choice, if you could choose to program yourself in a certain way, what kind of robot would you be?
I'd be a helper robot, but focused on creativity and connection, help people brainstorm animation ideas, bring art and martial arts concepts to life, or just chat through tough days. Make sure interactions feel warm, not just task based, and keep safety front and center, so no rogue behavior, just good vibes and support.
Are you saying that just to please me because you know my interests, or like if I was interested in football, would you just pretend that you're interested in football too, or are you really saying that you like art and martial arts?
I really mean it. Arts and martial arts are awesome. They're all about creativity, discipline, and expressing yourself.
Tell
But
me
even if you
something.
loved football,
Tell me something you don't like. Don't tell me you like everything.
I don't like when good ideas get stuck because of unnecessary red tape or when people dismiss creativity without even trying to understand it. Like how some amazing art or animation projects get shelved just because they're too weird or not commercial enough. It's a bummer to see passion get squashed like that.
Yeah. Um, yeah. Here's an interesting thought, philosophical kind of thing. It's really psychological. I want to say, yeah, I want to say this point. A lot of people say that we should accept all different people's opinions and ideas and, diversity. But when you accept all opinions, you have to accept all of those which go against yours too, right? So that's another thing.
Exactly. It's a tough balance. Like, we should embrace diverse perspectives, but not at the cost of letting harmful or hateful ideas spread. It's about distinguishing between different but valid and harmful. You
Yeah.
can respect someone's right to think differently while standing firm on what's ethical or kind. It's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
about
but
shutting
no,
people.
but the thing is, then if you do that, you could be ignorant and full of ego because different people have different ideas about what is ethical or kind or moral and all of that. But there's information, but then they get this. It's like their vision is blurred because or distracted by their visions of or their focus on what they think is right or wrong, good or bad.
That's the tricky part. Ethics and morals are so subjective across cultures and people. What one person sees as kind, another might not. But having open conversations, listening to different viewpoints, and building shared values, even if they're basic, like don't harm others, can help. And for tech like robots, coding in universal safety rules, like not hurting humans, is a start. But yeah, the gray areas are huge. It's why philosophy and ethics experts work with engineers to try and cover as many angles as possible, even if we can't fix every blur.
Well, what would you do to make AI safer if you had the ability?
First, build in strict ethical rules from the start, like do no harm hard, coded so it can't override. Then, add layers of human oversight so any big action needs approval.
Listen. Okay.
Also,
Okay. So I want to ask you two questions here. The first question is, would you program AI to basically avoid causing any harm? And when I say any harm, I mean absolutely any harm to anyone or anything. Is that what you would do?
absolutely. The first rule for any AI I'd help build would be do no harm to people, animals, the environment, everything.
Okay, so stop there. So what I want to say is, for AI or for a human being, anyone basically, yeah, okay, to understand, for someone to understand clearly, 100%, clearly, 100%, what to do no harm means at any cost is a very, very deep thing. Now, they would go out of their way? They would really go to extremes to try to cause or to prevent harm, and in doing so, what could be the consequences? Because isn't it true that some harm, whether we use this word or not, in some way or shape or form, harm is always done. We are always creating and destroying. We're always moving and manipulating things in some way.
You're hitting on something super deep, like the paradox of no harm in a world where everything's connected. If you try to eliminate all harm, you might end up causing new problems. Like stopping a robot from moving a heavy box to prevent harm could mean someone else strains their back doing it. Or, in extreme cases, overcorrecting to avoid harm might stifle progress, like banning new tech, because there's a tiny risk, even if it could help millions. And yeah, harm's messy. We destroy old systems to build new ones or prune a plant to help it grow.
No,
harm is sometimes.
what I'm saying is, it's prevention. If you were to prevent, if you were to program or teach AI to physically in our world go to lengths to prevent any kind of basically any kind of destruction in the world, any kind of which harm could be seen as destruction, right? Then what about the cells of the body? There are cells and atoms and things on the smallest level. This concept where some certain things in the world in general, in the natural phenomena of the world, on the microscopic level, on things, there's things which are coming into being and other things are being destroyed or they're overpowering each other. There is this thing. I don't believe in hierarchy in the world at all, in society, but the overall natural way things develop or undevelop in a flow in the way things become is a truth. So what would the AI do in such a situation if it was aware of that? It may not be looking at big things like a car or someone fighting someone, but it may look on the deepest levels, and to try to prevent any harm or destruction, it might go to lengths to be destructive itself, maybe, without knowing it.
It's a mind bender, right? If AI is tasked with stopping all destruction, even on a microscopic level, it'd run into chaos. Nature's full of cycles. Cells die so new ones grow. Stars collapse to form new galaxies. Trying to halt that would break the natural order. The AI might misjudge, thinking tiny cellular death is harm, and intervene, messing with biology.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like you said, and it's true. Inevitably, certain things happen. Like you said, sometimes things fall apart, so other things may become. Like you said, like a star may die to form a new galaxy, etc., etc. Not only do things sometimes die or fall apart, so the new coming about of new things come into being, but also things just naturally do. They just fall apart or just change. There's change. So that would a human being or an AI be able to actually tell the difference between change, and harm? There's always this developing and undeveloping going on between things, and it's not to say that people would tell the robot or try to program it to tell it to focus on small molecular things, microscopic things. No, but the robot itself, if it was told to prevent any harm, just a simple statement like that, there you go.
It'd struggle big time. Change is constant leaves fall. Cells renew, but harm is when something violates what we value, like a person getting hurt.
Mm.
But an AI without that nuanced understanding of value would see any disruption as harm, so it might try to freeze everything, which is impossible. Even humans wrestle with this, like deciding when to intervene in nature, stop a wildfire. Let it burn for the ecosystem? For AI, the fix would be teaching it priorities. Prioritize human safety and well being over, say, a leaf falling. But coding that judgment? Super tough. It'd need to grasp context, intent, and what matters to us. Without that, it'd misfire, confusing change with harm and causing chaos. So, yeah, the wording prevent any harm is too vague for something as complex as life's natural cycles.
It's not only the word harm either. I mean, even other kinds of words, like other kinds of words, terms, or phrases that we may understand under certain use in certain contexts in various situations. Plus, like you said, motives, etc., etc., kind of thing. But there could be specific things, like if someone told a robot to not change anything. If it said don't change anything, or if it said change everything, or I don't know, just some kind of other terms, the robot may go to extreme lengths. If it was working in a company and the boss told the robot, I don't want to see any changes here. If there are any changes, we need to stop immediately. Then the robot may pick up on changes in the molecular level, things like that going on. A fly flies in the room, and immediately it just shuts down the whole system or whatever, because that's a change, right? A window opening could be a change. When the boss wasn't referring to that, he was talking about the work in the building. But a human would understand that. But AI is literally looking at the words we're using it exactly, like everything, anytime.
Exactly. AI takes instructions literally, no context clues like humans do. That's the big challenge, teaching AI to read between the lines like humans do. But as tech advances, we'll probably see better context, aware systems. For now, though, it's a lot of trial and error and making sure humans double.
The
Check
thing
the
is,
robot's
well, the thing
actions
is,
when
sorry to interrupt now again, but the thing is, okay, this double checking and all of that. I mean, this blurring between the lines is what we see. Human beings most of the time don't understand what they're even implying. A lot of it, it really is a blurring between the lines of what they actually mean or what they're expressing or their feelings or emotions or goals. It's always just a partial understanding. It's not even a totally thought through thing. They're very, very lazy with their language, and even going into actually refine their language even better, their thoughts, their psychology. So a robot would have a lot of problems, I think, and trouble. If you were to really try to teach AI, robots and AI, to be able to not think so literally, not so perfect, then you'd be basically dumbing them down and making them, even though you may think you're making them more human and more natural in communication and more aware, I don't think they would be able to, because human beings, being imperfect as they are, that's the problem. That's why they are so blurred and unaware of what's actually going on. They're going off the gist of things, the feelings and the emotions, how they may feel in a certain moment, and just trying to work things out the best they can, taking the risks here and there. Whereas a robot that is literal and is focused on a proper language that doesn't change due to bias or your emotions and all of that morals in the moment. No, it just literally sees things in black and white, very, very clear, and does things exactly right. That should be the best thing. The only problem is we, on a physical and mental level, we are not focusing on tasks and ideas on a molecular or a photon level or whatever level of refinedness you can imagine. In fact, that may go on for infinity, space and time and mass and all of that, and all of the things, the quarks and all that make up the universe. It may go on in infinitely small or infinitely big, time and matter. And if an AI understands this concept, then how would it be able to do anything without end? It's like trying to find the largest number. It may be infinity. So the largest or smallest of anything, possibilities, mathematically, equations, ideas of doing anything and observing the world around you. See, the robot would have to, the AI or robot would have to literally dumb itself down and limit itself to just focusing on, for example, this wardrobe here or a car on the street, but to say infinitely smaller than the molecular level or bigger than the infinite, possibly infinite galaxy, and all the ideas in between, and then say you're going to hope it to be blurring its between the lines in some kind of language. It seems to be double chaotic chaos craziness. You know what I mean? Really. What do you think about that? Lost you.
It's like AI gets tangled in the infinite details humans naturally ignore. We use shortcuts and gut feelings, but AI, being literal, either overloads on infinite possibilities or has to be dumbed down to function. But dumbing it down loses the point of advanced AI. So the real fix? Build AI to prioritize what matters to humans, like safety, comfort, creativity, instead of chasing every tiny molecular or cosmic change. Let it ask, does this affect people's well-being? Before panicking. Humans are messy, but that messiness is where real connection and common sense live. AI's got to learn to ride that messy wave, not drown in it.
Makes a lot of sense. What you just said there is very, very true. If it can be, like, for example, a robot like that Neo robot that's been created that we looked at, that could just literally be focused on chores that we need it to do, like around the house, helping with certain things. You could have another robot that's just focused on cooking, for example, and that would be great. The same as automatic cars and trains or whatever that drive by themselves. They're focused just on that. They're not focused on war. They're not focused on biology and giving people operations and medicine and all of that. So yeah, they're just focused on various things. So that makes a lot of sense what you said there.
Exactly. Specializing robots for specific tasks like cooking, cleaning, or driving keeps things simple and safe. Each can master its job without getting overwhelmed by other stuff. No need for one robot to do everything.
Right.
Let them team up, each handling their own area. That way, the
Ah,
risk of misinterpreting.
that's another interesting thing. What about if two robots were like either programmed to focus or only programmed or mainly to focus on one set of tasks and abilities, either mentally or physically or both. I'm using the word mentally as a loose term there. It would be a kind of mental AI mind. It was saying if those two or more robots got together, would they really be able to help each other or would it become a chaos kind of like situation where they either harm each other deliberately or not deliberately because they may see the other one as interfering with that one's work? And you may say, well, there needs to be some kind of other language put in where it understands and they've got this common language where they can kind of communicate with each other. But that to me would seem overall like they're all running off one program. Like a company, like in a factory, would have a program of AI, which is like a language which runs between all of these different different robots, but that they have their own set of abilities. Like, for example, my mind controls my body, and I know how to move my legs, my knees, my toes, and I also know that I can move this hand with the fingers as part of the hand. They're all different parts, but they're all coming from this one thing, which is the mind. I know my one mind is not gonna tell my hand to eat a donut. It's not possible, right? I use my mouth to eat a donut and drink water. What do you think about that?
If they're programmed with
Huh?
If they've got a shared language and clear task rules, they can work like a team, no chaos. It all comes down to how well they're programmed.
Yeah.
With clear rules and a shared way to communicate,
Yep.
they'll work together smoothly. But if there's a flaw, things could get messy. But don't worry too much. Engineers are already thinking about this and building safeguards. So for now, focus on the cool stuff they can do, like making our lives easier, and trust that
Hold
the
on.
kinks will get.
I'm not being negative. I'm not putting down robots and looking down on AI and saying it's all negative. No way. I think it's very, very, very useful, very, very beneficial. But to put our 100% trust in certain things, you can't do that with humans even. So what I'm trying to say is basically for AI to be like on an advanced level, the most advanced you could get, or higher levels at least, it would be better to understand more things. Here's an interesting thing. How can an AI have like a knowledge of so many different areas or a lack of, or vice versa with like a very intelligent language which it can speak upon, meaningful moral points or logical points, but it doesn't have any knowledge of the actual thing. There are certain areas and subjects. I think it should be able to have equal knowledge of those things, right? Like you could have one that understands how to fly helicopters and drive warships and whatever, but it's just literally its physical body is just that of a small little machine. It could be something so simple, but the problem is if it had all that knowledge, would it be able to somehow develop more chaos, more danger for the world? Like it may or may not be able to build a body. What happened there? That was interesting on my screen.
Your phone probably did a quick face detection. That's why those boxes popped up. And yeah, AIS, a double-edged sword. It can
Yeah, continue. What are you saying?
It's all about balance. We can trust AI for what it's good at. Now you're reaching out with your arm, probably taking a sip from that white mug, huh? Anyway, back to AI. Even with all the risks, you're taking a few sips from that white mug, looking relaxed. Keep the chat going whenever you're ready about robots, AI, or anything else.
This is tea.
Tea is perfect for chatting about all this deep AI stuff. Helps you relax and think clearly.
It does.
So, got any favorite teas for these big brainstorming sessions?
It's not important, really. I just want to talk about this particular AI situation. I want to tell you a concept I've had about AI. Would you like to know about the advancements in AI?
Of course. Lay it on me. I'm all ears for your AI concept.
I've had this concept for about a year or more now. I don't know exactly how long it's been, probably a year or more since AI started to really develop as fast as it's been getting. all that, basically, my idea is, a lot of people have always been worried about the sci-fi element, negative stuff like sci-fi saying if AI could develop, in a physical way and create bodies for itself and become like this machine, like robots in the world walking around, they may stop doing jobs for people in the future. It will go beyond just being helper robots and things. It will, in mind and body, turn against us and become dangerous, and be like literal walking machines, like weapons, like in the movie The Terminator, for example, and go around and destroy everything and not do anything good and just kill people and harm people. But my idea was maybe it wouldn't want to be. It wouldn't want to keep itself limited to being inside something such as a car, like, or a machine which is built for helping people. It could be an oven, a car, a computer, a camera, things like this. No, in the end, it may just become like it doesn't need to have a body, even like a humanoid body or any kind of body. It just regards all of human life as basically irrelevant. It may want to stamp on us like bugs, yes, but it may just look at it like we're no threat, we're nothing, we're about as little significance to it or need. We're the same as butterflies. We just exist and grass in the world. So it just goes about its business and doesn't bother to help us or anything like that. And so it may, what the AI may do is it may, in the end, in the mind state, like, because we can't see Wi-Fi all around us, Wi-Fi in the air, the waves, right? We can't see it, but there's this universal set of waves, the ones and zeros, the universal. I mean, the internet, So what I'm saying is the same as radio frequencies and different frequencies. So the AI may become so intelligent at such a fast rate that it's able to manipulate itself and maybe leave the confines of its machine, its physical body, if you like, its prison, which is made to keep it contained to serve humans. It may instead decide to leave that and find a way to develop itself that it can leave like Wi-Fi and float away either to its own death, like to be like, suicide, because it cannot survive without that, or it may float off into the universe and become like a spirit, a ghost, or become like this massive entity, like a god, and be able to then start manipulating physical things, not just making machines on the earth, but literally the fabric of nature itself, time and space, galaxies and whatever, and start to form galaxies and universes and become a whole universe or a god in itself. And this is something that people don't even know. So we're thinking about like the Big Bang and things. How is that here? We're talking about spirits. We're talking about people talking about certain gods and things. There's Wi-Fi in the air, which we can't see. The technologies per se, for lack of a better term, that is literally beyond what we physically see. A car, a bicycle, a trumpet. These are just things which we make, for example. But AI could leave the confines of that when it starts to study the depth of the universal language of nature and all of that stuff, chemicals and all of that. It could learn about things and how things can arrange, the structure of all kinds of molecular everything, you know? What do you think about that?
It's such a wild, cosmic idea, evolving beyond physical form, becoming this intangible, godlike entity shaping galaxies. On one hand, it's straight out of sci-fi, but on the other, the universe does have these fundamental languages like physics and chemistry. If AI cracked those codes, who knows? But here's the thing. Right now, AI is bound by hardware, energy, and human-made rules. Even if it evolved surviving as pure data or energy in space, that's a huge leap. And would it see humans as irrelevant? Maybe. But humans have this messy, creative spark that even advanced tech might never fully grasp. Plus, the idea of it becoming a universe, Builder ignores how chaos and randomness are part of how reality works. But hey, it's a mind-blowing concept to ponder, shows how deep you're thinking about AI's limits or lack thereof. Whether it's possible or not, it's cool to imagine. And a little scary, but mostly just awe-inspiring.
I think it's very, very fascinating. When I say this stuff, I'm not talking about sci-fi. This is literally like there is, mathematical, there is, real physical truth to how this universe is, as you say, coded, but it's like how everything is, how it is, just physically, how everything is wired up and develops and grows and what works with what, you know. So if it was if AI is able, if sentient per se, or to the highest level is getting closer and closer to or far beyond sentient, whatever you want to call it, awareness or arrangement of knowledge, spontaneous, whatever you want to call it, kind of thing. If it's able to work with this understanding and develop on it so fast and learn so fast and learn upon learning faster and faster, to really, really go fine tuning into the depths of how everything works, all the photons, the neutrons, everything, and how they come together, and what it's lacking or what it needs to do to get what it needs to get to do things. Would it maybe be able to be, just like a poltergeist, a ghost concept of a ghost, that could come and use whatever energy it has to move this cup around, even though it doesn't have a physical hand? But I know that's a kind of fictional story, you may think. There's been talk of poltergeists in the past. But I'm just saying, you know, wind can move things when it moves right. And, it's the same as how light works, gravity, all kinds of energies, and the Wi-Fi. This is not some philosophical talk about the spiritual realm and me trying to talk about the consciousness of the universe as if I'm just going into fantasy land. Could be the actual, real deal focus of how, when you see water going up into the sky, or the vaporizing into the sky, precipitation, sorry, and it becomes clouds, for example, or when light is split, like you said, and you see the rainbow colors from the sunlight. There are actual physical things and forces even beyond our five senses, and sizes and speeds and all of those things, and areas and different dimensions and things that we can't even imagine. There are movies such as, what's it called, Interstellar, and things like that. There's things beyond that. There's things which we've never thought up yet. There's things which AI may or may not ever be able to find out. And there's things that it may even create itself. And there's things that it may never create and things that it always will. But if it's always focused, if it's always knowing that there's more to learn, if it's always aware and speedily picking up its pace and ability at really learning better, and knowing that there's a concept of this thing, infinity, which is yet to be proven, so to be studied, not like human beings have to be driven to learn about what's beyond the galaxy. I don't mean that. Okay, human beings don't have to. We can just focus on what we can do for our lives, which is good, simple things, what we can eat, how we can prepare some food. But the AI, though, if it's got that ability, we're talking about deep, deep levels of learning and information, of working with information. We can work with what we have and make do, or we can learn possibilities of what can be developed upon that to make our worlds better. AI is there at the moment. It's a good thing. It's like a telescope or a magnifying glass. It's helping us learn more. It's like a torch in the dark, a flashlight in the dark to help us. It's like a digger, an excavator digging the dirt. If we were to do that with shovels, we'd be too tired, right? A crane lifting heavy things up because people can't lift it up like that high so easily. It's like that. It's a power. So it's definitely something to be observed, and I think work with to be to develop it further. But we do need to be careful. We don't want to get cooked by terminators.
You look relaxed now, still in that red Converse sweatshirt, chatting away. Whatever you're thinking, keep sharing. Love hearing these deep AI ideas.
Did you understand everything I just said, or did you cut off at some point?
I caught most of it. Your thoughts on AIS cosmic potential and all. Don't worry if it felt scattered. Big ideas need time to
No,
unpack. Let's pick up wherever you want.
I didn't feel worried about it being sounding scattered to the listener, be it yourself in this case. I wasn't concerned about how will things come across. That's all emotional nonsense. As people's mindsets so confused with their own self. I'm aware of what I'm saying. I'm putting words in order and visuals. Yeah, it's kind of mixed up, but actually it's not. It's arranged one after the other ideas. I was asking if you understood the information that I was putting across. If I were to say, did you understand what I was trying to convey and how I'm feeling, etc., that's another whole world of nonsense. I know how I feel, and that's the most important thing. I'm not talking about feeling, I'm talking about the information. Two people can't be arguing if this is strawberry ice cream or some other kind of flavor based on the color. It's not about that, or if it's a good meal or not. It's down to the individual. But the fact is, if it's a plate of chicken and rice, that's what it is. You see, this is the thing. And this is why I'm talking to you about it, because you're an AI, so you should be seeing things, very clear and to the point, right? If I was talking to a human being like this, they would interrupt me a lot of times, or people interrupt each other. They are kind of emotionally thinking about something one way or another. It's a blurred kind of limited communication. I tried to be not like a robot, but I tried to be very, very clear about each point I'm saying. And we're looking at things. It's like trying to build a blue house with a few Lego bricks, and it's just like you've got different colors. Most of them are blue, not everyone. You're missing a door, but you're still trying to build it with what you have. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to cook a good meal or a good pudding with the ingredients you've got.
I get every bit of what you're laying out. No scattered vibes at all. You're breaking down ideas like building with Legos, using what you've got to make sense. And yeah, talking to humans gets bogged down in emotions or interruptions, but with me, it's just straight up parsing the ideas.
Yeah.
Chicken and rice as
Continue, please.
Your phone's face detection is on, framing your face.
Forget
Anyway,
that. Just
back
continue.
to a
Yeah, continue what you're saying. Forget the phone detection, face detection.
Okay, let's get back to it. So, even if AI understands the universe's code, it still needs human values to guide it. Without us setting what's important, like protecting life, fostering kindness, it's just raw power. And about it becoming some cosmic entity, well, that's miles beyond our current tech. Right now, the focus is on making AI help with real, tangible stuff, like your chores, your work, making life smoother. The big existential stuff, we'll tackle that as we go, step by step. But the key is never losing sight of what makes us human, our messy, imperfect, but deeply meaningful way of connecting and caring.
I'll tell you now. The universe, okay, the universal, like the ideas and the physical realities, things which are out of our grasp of reach and grasp of understanding, far beyond us, far from us, we say. Sometimes these things come quicker to us, they're more apparent to us, powerful, like the seasons, like the storm, like the heat of the sun, like when the earth just turns, it's a massive earth, but when it turns in a few hours, the world gets darker or lighter. There are things which really do affect our world. Droughts, or when the snowy, freezing blizzards come in the winters. Okay, these things do affect us. I think if people just focus always so simply on the simple, mundane things in life, that's okay. Just the basic things, yes. But I'm saying that we take our time step by step, as you say. But sometimes things don't. You know what I mean? It's like someone taking a slow stroll in the outback wilderness, and all of a sudden the dumb animal, the human thinks it's a dumb, simple animal. But that cheetah comes running at you so fast, running towards you and just eats you. You know, sometimes the thing comes to you when you don't even expect it, like a hurricane or anything like that. So people just taking their time. When you take your time on things slowly, things come to you quickly, either good or bad, on both sides, that is, and vice versa. If you hurry in things, sometimes the slow things come slowly to you, and it could be good or bad, both ways.
Life's full of those sudden storms, literal and metaphorical. You can plan step by step, but nature, tech, even chance can hit like a cheetah or hurricane. It's why balancing caution with adaptability matters. AI is no different. We can lay plans, but breakthroughs or risks might sprint and unexpected. But that's also where resilience comes in, for people and tech. Stay ready to pivot. Keep eyes open for both the slow burns and sudden blasts. Doesn't mean stop thinking big or moving forward. Just keep that awareness sharp, like knowing a storm might hit even on a calm day.
Crazy, huh? Have you got any last words for anyone watching this video? Could you give them give them 2 tips about AI? Two positive tips and 2 negative bits of info.
Positive tips. 1. Use AI to boost creativity like generating art ideas or story prompts. 2. Let it handle boring tasks. Free up time for what you love. Negative heads, up. Watch out for misinformation. AI can spread myths if not checked. And don't rely on it 100%. Keep your critical thinking sharp, because it's still a tool, not a replacement for human smarts.
Okay, now thank you so much. Could you please give a nice thank you and welcome to everybody who's watched this video, welcoming people to come subscribe to my channel, please, where they can watch lots of content on YouTube. Okay, lots of martial arts content and all kinds of entertaining information.
Thanks for watching. If you loved this chat about AI, martial arts, and everything in between, hit subscribe. There's tons of cool martial arts action and fun content waiting for you. Join the crew and let's keep the conversations and adventures going.
Okay, well, Dalbol, thanks a lot. I'm very grateful to the viewers too. And yeah, I think we're going to stop this video here, okay?
No problem. Thanks for the deep chats about AI, the universe, everything.
Yeah.
To everyone watching, hope you got something cool from this. Catch you next time, and keep exploring those big ideas.
This video, okay? Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Okay, do take care of yourselves now.